So, welcome to Bishop Chronicles. You know what I'm saying? It's time to holla at a scholar, decent banjoko, chilling in the building. Yeah. Today's discussion is kind of serious, right? But I mean, most of these conversations, I mean, it's not a comedy channel. You know what I'm saying? Bishop Chronicles. I mean, you might laugh a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're not devoid of humor and whatnot around here and whatnot heretofore, but this ain't the place for what I'm saying. Uh, Games, unless it's chess, I guess, or jujitsu or something. In any case, this is about me wondering, because the Stoics thought that health was an important thing to maintain, right? And I believe on a spiritual level that if you have gratitude for your body, anything you believe you have gratitude for spiritually, you should show that gratitude through the work you do to preserve it and enhance it, right? And so, America, I mean, good Lord, we are in trouble right now, right? When it comes to food, when it comes to obesity, right? Did you see they just had broccoli and tuna recalls because they were deadly? Deadly. What happens when the two things we don't want to eat that often end up becoming deadly? Now people can really look at you and be like, why aren't you having a triple cheeseburger? Why aren't you having two milkshakes? Safer than broccoli and tuna. Mm-hmm. Right? If you ever tell me that that would happen in America, I'll slap you twice. And here we are. It's just unbelievable. Broccoli and tuna recalls because they're deadly, right? And so, we have a real dilemma on multi tiers about like how to be healthy, how to stay healthy, et cetera, right? And so, I just turned 55. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I exfoliate. The thing is that outside of the exfoliation, people be like, oh, you got good genes, these, that's why you slim and blah, blah, blah. Right? But the reality is, like, yeah, I do have good genes. My parents, who just celebrated 58 years of marriage, they look amazing. My dad be walking around in Vans, jeans, fresh shirts, sometimes collared, sometimes not. But he's looking chill. And people be telling me, yo, your dad dresses fresher than you. And I know he does. My dad has way too much style for an 86-year-old man. And mom's is fresh too. Skin, all of that. All right? But here's the deal. When people, I'm talking about me specifically, right? Oh, you got good genes, you got good genes. But you know what though? I do jujitsu. I make my own juice at the house regularly, right? Like I do a lot of stuff to stay healthy. I'm taking all kinds of crazy ass supplements all the time. Like I just got birch polypore to start taking it to kind of help my skin fight infections, right? Shout out to my boy Sean back in Leeds. But what I'm saying is, right, I take a lot of things, right? Sea moss gel, right? Like, I do a lot. And I drink a lot of tea, a lot of green tea, a lot of, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking L-theanine for my brain, right? And it's like, the genes don't do that part, man. The genes don't do that part. So even if you got good genes, you need to be still getting your jog on. You need to still be making sure that you out there doing what you need to do and handling what you need to handle. But after I became 55, two things happened. One, I remembered that I was supposed to go. I had a colonoscopy a couple years ago, and they found a small polyp, precancerous. They took it out. The guy said, come back in a few years. I asked him, do I need to do anything about my diet? Do I need to do anything about the way I'm living? He was like, no, keep living the same, blah, blah, blah. I kind of thought that was weak because it's like, I mean, it's precancer. You know what I'm saying? And then the other thing was my grandmother, may God bless her, she died at 65, I believe, from colon cancer. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm 55. If she knew that when she was 55, that in 10 years she might be dead, would she have lived different? And she didn't really eat crazy. She ate really well. You know what I mean? She liked natural foods regularly. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? She walked. She did a lot of things. But I was like, how different would she have lived? I don't know. But I have an opportunity now to live as if I have cancer. And I'm going to try to do that now. I eat a lot of sugar. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a sugar fanatic. So I got to cut the sugar, and I also have to I got to cut the sugar, and I need to cut all meats out. I think I'll do fish for a little bit, aka the pescatarian way, and then slide into straight vegetarian with the goal of being vegan by 2027. Right? But this is a tough fight for me, especially the sugar addiction. It is, oh man, it's so real. I love so much candy. I'm just looking at it right now. It's gonna be hard. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I have to do it, right? And then, so what if you get cancer anyway, Deez? Well, if I get cancer anyway, then you know what I'm saying? I'll know what's God's will. I know that's what was supposed to happen. But if I don't make a big fight, if I don't try to make my body a hostile place for cancer, a hostile place for viruses and bacteria, right? Through the way that I eat, through my gut biome, through fasting, then I'll never really know what my potential is, and I'll never know what my legacy and what my time on this earth should be if I'm reckless with it. You know, the Stoics believed in taking care of your health, right? I think it was Hippocrates who said, "Let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food," right? And you know, in almost all indigenous traditions, be it African, Native American, wherever, and even in a lot of different places in Europe, like eating good, clean food was suggested and normal and a standard. And we've just gotten so far away from it, right? Because families are broken, because parents don't often cook for their kids in the same way that they used to. Both of my parents, you know, cooked often and cooked well, right? And so, you know, I got a lot of those traditions. And in the 80s, my parents were the first parents I knew to stop having salt in the house. They brought it back. But for a long time, they kept salt out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Always deliberately moderate in their drinking. You know, they were some of the first people that I knew that would buy fresh water. You know what I'm saying? And you know, always talking about the importance of vegetables and things like that. And they were really sincere about that, you know. Especially as a black family, my parents, you know, would take me to Chinese food, to Japanese food, Thai food, all kind of stuff. And, you know, I think a lot of black families in the 80s didn't do that. You know what I mean? And so, you know, especially, and I'm just speaking to black folks right now, like, you know, we got to get away from a lot of what we call soul food and stuff like that. It's just leftover slave food. You know, you ever think about, like, I'm about to make a lot of black people upset right here. I apologize in advance. I apologize. But it's Black History Month, so we need to have this conversation. Like, we know as black people that most of what we call Southern cuisine is just leftover slave food. And the genius that we created with the pig scraps that they gave our ancestors. Like, why do we eat that food, right? Like, if you think about Holocaust survivors from World War II, I don't know what they fed them at Auschwitz, but I'll bet you a lot of modern Jews have enough self-respect to eat nothing like it and reject it. But we will fight to the death to eat the food that our ancestors, enemies, and slave masters fed them. We'll fight our family members to the death if they say don't do it. We'll fight them to the death if they say you should be vegan. We'll fight them to the death if we say, hey, you know what? Have you ever heard of the book Eat to Live by Elijah Muhammad? You should get 2 of them. Why do we want to eat like our slave masters told our ancestors to, knowing it's bad for us? I be seeing a lot of my friends swole up from the ham and spam intake. Swole up. Puffy face, neck, everything. What, bro? Because you can't stop eating this, bro? Are you kidding me? And I'm talking to you as someone who used to really love bacon, man. I ain't gonna front. I used to love that Jimmy Dean. The silver one? Oh my God. How many sandwiches? Listen to what I'm saying, though. It's really not good for you, bro. And especially, you know, not to get too theological, but I mean, like, What's going on with the fast of Daniel? If you're a Christian, how are you not doing that? If you're a black Christian especially, how are you explaining that you can't do the fast of Daniel? And you'd rather just arm wrestle me to if I'm trying to keep you away from a pork chop. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But we have to do better, right? I'm trying to live cancer free. So this is what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to get rid of the red meat. I'm going to get rid of the chicken. I'm going to miss them both, right? I'm going to get into this vegetarian thing. I'm going to ride that wave. See if I can slide over into a vegan state by 2027. Assuming I live that long. And I got to beat the sugar. Sugar's harder than the meat. Sugar's harder than anything. I am addicted to sugar. Do any of you have good, get away from sugar plans? I need help. I absolutely need help. I absolutely need help. I'm so stressed out about that. I'm so stressed out. Right? But between this polyp that they found and then the H. pylori intestinal situation that I had, they say I could have more stomach cancer. So I got to start living different. So have any of you ever thought about this? Have any of you ever did it? What suggestions do you have? Because I need as many as I can find. I need as many as I can find. I'll tell you what I am doing. I don't know if you guys are up on soursop. Yo. Soursop bitters, man. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. If you've never had soursop, it's amazing. Right? But soursop is good. Soursop leaves for tea is good. What else am I taking to kind of I'll be fasting different windows. You know what I'm saying? I'll be doing a high protein thing because you'll be like, hey, what about your protein? I'm going to be using stuff like Isopure. Nobody pays me to say this stuff. Like the stuff I just showed you. This is just stuff that I buy. Right? I told you I'm the anti-guru, man. I'm not holding back where I get stuff from and what I do. Trying to act like I'm some kind of super mystic or have kind of extra solutions, right? I'm going to be fasting, different protocols for fasting, right? The fast of Daniel, Ramadan's coming up. That's when I'm going to start making this transition into the vegetarian lifestyle, and then my goal is to maintain that. I accept that I may slip once in a while, but I'm going to really, 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 really try not to. The sugar thing is my hardest. That's going to be my big struggle. My big struggle is going to be the sugar. But I think I'll be good, man. I believe I can do this. Have you ever done this? Do you know somebody that's done it? Let me know, because I'm trying to make my body a hostile place for bacteria and virus to exist. I'm trying to make my body a hostile place so that it's hard for tumors and cancer to grow. Right? I mean, I think we got to do better in America. I think we got to try harder in America to be healthy. I was just talking with one of my friends. I'm not going to say his name because he'd be mad at me. But, he was like, man, I just tried to do push-ups last night. I could only do 6. Man, I ain't doing that. And we're about the same age. And I'm like, bro, listen, you better get back to it. I couldn't do a bunch of push-ups back in the day, you know what I'm saying? As an adult. Pull-ups, none of this stuff, man. I had to start from 0, pretty much. Right? But I was like, especially as we're getting older, you need to be stronger. So if you can just do those 6, maintain those 6. And I said, I don't want to sound like I'm David Goggins or whatever right now, but you need to be harder, bro. You need to kick in. You need to be about this. Because your life matters and longevity matters. You know what I'm saying? We love our kids. Do we love our kids enough to drink a little less or just to stop drinking? Do we love our kids enough to stop feeding ourselves and them poisonous fast foods? Do we love ourselves and our kids enough to be a better example of discipline to them without trying to be saints? Right? Seriously. Come on, man. Watch me do this and then go out like Snoop Dogg did with the whole Trump video. Just hella gummy bears. Hella vanilla Coke. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. Anyway. Listen. I want you to have a beautiful week. I hope you have a great, great day. And I hope you have a great week. Suggest anything that you think will help me be able to do this better. Any tools, digital or otherwise, any books, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate all of you for checking this out. Please subscribe if you haven't. Share it with 2 people. You know what I'm saying? And let's try to do better together. Know what I mean? Stay stoic, holla at a scholar. Oh, your boy's doing talks. I just finished this one at Albany State. I got another one at Cal State East Bay. Why don't you holler at a scholar? How come you don't have him at your university? How come you don't have him speaking at your club events? You should. You should book a Disa Banjoko today. You can go to Disa Banjoko, whatever the WordPress thing is. Check me out there and hit me up. I'm doing all kind of stuff online too. You know what I'm saying? You can just send a wire. It's all on fire. You know what I'm talking about? Bam!